Okay, so at this point, hopefully you guys have done all of this pre-lab stuff. If you're confused on any of this stuff, I have another video so you can go watch it and make sure that you can get the right answers up here. It's important that you know how to do these calculations because later on in the lab, when you get to the charts, you're gonna have to be able to do these calculations again. So make sure that you feel comfortable with the pre-lab and know how to do those questions. We're gonna move on and do the rest of the lab. I'm just gonna do it for you so you can watch, and then you can fill out the chart and the observations at the end, but I'll just go through this part. So the first part of the procedure, we had to weigh out a certain amount of CuSO4. And so right here, the highlighted part, you should write that into your lab. This is what you're gonna use later on. And so I weighed this out before. This blue powder, it's 1.63 grams of CuSO4 on this paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump this into one of these graduated cylinders. All right, and then we're gonna mix it together and we're gonna make a solution. And so because we know how much this weighs and we know how much volume we're putting in, we're gonna be able to figure out the molarity of this solution. And we're gonna use this solution and we're gonna do dilutions with it to figure out, and then we're gonna figure out the molarity of the new diluted solution. So that's where this lab is going. But we're first gonna make a solution that we're gonna be able to use in the rest of our, for the rest of our labs. All right, so we filled it up almost to 100 milliliters. We need a little bit more. All right, so now to get this all mixed together, we're gonna stop her. I'm gonna mix it up so that it's uniform throughout the whole thing. All right, so this is called our stock solution. This is the solution that we know what its molarity is because we know the weight that we've put in and we can convert that to moles, and we know the amount of volume that it has, and so we can figure out its molarity. And so you're gonna do that later on in the charts. We won't do that right now, but that's what this is our stock solution. So the second solution we need to make in your lab, if you're following along in the instructions, is that we need to make a solution where we're gonna fill this up with 50 milliliters of stock solution, and then we're gonna dilute it with 50 more milliliters of water. All right, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna fill this up to 50 milliliters. Hopefully it won't spill. All right, a little bit more. Oh, I went a little bit over, so I'll pour some back. It's really important that we are exact in these. Okay. Yep, so this is 50 milliliters of the stock solution, and now we want to dilute it. And so to dilute it, we're going to add 50 milliliters into this. So I'm going to take this beaker. It's supposed to have about 50 milliliters of water in it. All right, so this is our first dilution that we're doing for solution number 2. I'm gonna mix it up so that it's uniform throughout the whole thing. And we're gonna compare colors later on, so that's why we're gonna keep these solutions off to the side. But this is your solution number 2. All right, this is your diluted solution. And now we're gonna do one final dilution. And for this one, instead of filling up to 50, we're gonna fill it up to 10. All right, these fill up lines that we're going to are important because later on in your chart, you're gonna have to record how far we filled each one up. All right, so this second solution, we filled it up with 50 milliliters. This one, we're gonna fill it up to 10 milliliters of our stock solution. So I'm gonna try to be careful so we can get it right on our 10. I might need to use a pipette to make sure it's exact. All right, so it looks good. So it's exactly at 10. So now I'm gonna fill this up so that we have 100 milliliters of water, and then we'll mix it like we did with the other ones. A little bit short. All right, let me just get a little bit more water to dump in here. A little bit more. Like I said, it's important that we're exact with these ones just so that we're calculating the proper molarity. All right, So this one I'm gonna mix up so it's uniform throughout. So this is diluted with, it's a 10 milliliter line. No, a little bit more. All right. Okay, so here are our different solutions. So let me kind of remind you what they are. I'll post a picture of these so that you can see them. But this one is our stock solution. So this is the one that we put powder in, we filled it up to 100. This will be for your first chart. You'll be using this one. This one is our second one that we did where we filled it up with 50 milliliters of the stock solution. And then we filled it up with 50 more milliliters of water, mixed it all up, and we got this solution. And then this one is our last one where we only did 10 milliliters and we filled up the rest of the way. So you can kind of see how this dilution happened, and you can see these color differences. So those are some things to write in your observations. You can talk about the color, you can talk about the amount of liquid, things like that, that you might need later on. All right, I'm gonna post another video with help doing the charts because I know those are kind of hard. You can try them on your own, or you can wait till I post the chart video and do them then. All right, good luck with the rest of the lab, guys.